It is the 41st millennium. For 10,000 years, the Imperium has dominated the galaxy. There is only war. Every human soul, from the most highborn lord to the most basic servitor, is dedicated to the service of the God Emperor of mankind. The Imperium's battle fleets and armies, from the conscripted soldiers of the Astra Militarum to the elite space marines of the Adeptus Astartes, keep humanity safe from alien threats and cosmic horrors beyond imagining. But there is another war. It is the one in which I serve.
Let's work translation.
Our war is not one of battlefields and fleet engagements. It is waged by the dedicated agents of the Imperial Inquisition. It is fought in the cities and hives of the Imperium. In the back streets and the forgotten sublevels. In hive cities like Tertian.
We are surrounded! Don't get overrun! Hurry, Saul!
For if the Inquisition fails, if we fail, the Imperium falls with us.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing something a little bit different than what we've been normally doing on the channel. We're playing some Warhammer Darktide, which is a fairly new game that just came out. Well, it's in beta right now. The official release date isn't for, I think, a couple of weeks. But yeah, I haven't seen any gameplay of this, although I've been like really anticipating the release of this new game because it looks very interesting. And I've played Warhammer, what was it, the other Warhammer games, and this one looked incredibly interesting because you can create your own character, and it's basically like Warhammer Vermintide 2, which I really enjoy. But it is the wee hours in the morning of about 1:30 in the morning. And we're going to be hopping into this and making our new character. I haven't done anything, I haven't looked at anything except for some settings to change the volumes and stuff for the recording. But I've seen the classes here. We've got Sharpshooter, which is basically a gunner. Long range, precise, very tactical. I haven't looked at any of their abilities really, but they seem cool. They seem kind of up my alley. Preacher also seems pretty cool as well. They're close range, high damage and charge. They get stronger as their body tires. I don't know what that means, but oh, I see. Plus 5 damage for each 15 missing health, which stacks to a max of 3, which is pretty good. And every 90 seconds, taking damage that would kill you, you gain vulnerability for 5 seconds, which seems really good. But the one that stood out most to me was not Skullbreaker or Ogren, which they're very close range and very tanky, I would assume. But the one that stood out to me was the Psyker, the Psychonetic, which, although fragile, they have the superpowers, or like magic powers, which Seems really fun. They use swords and staves. I don't know if they have guns, or if they can use guns at all, because they have magic. I don't know what this is, but it's probably a bug, since it's still in beta. But, insert description here for Psychonetic's Wrath. No idea what it does. But, I think we're gonna choose the Psychonetic, because they look cool, too. So we'll go with that. Homeworld. Let's go to the top. The Mobian domain is full of established worlds, burgeoning settlements, and fair-flung colonies. Even though you've been on the move for a long time, there's still one place that you can call home. Crucius, or Crussus. Considered the second world of the Mobian domain, Crussus or Crucius is a large shrine world, a popular destination for pilgrimages. Pilgrimages? That doesn't sound right. Mesalina Gloriana. That's a cool name. Heavily forested moon serves as a minor shrine world. What's a shrine world? I don't know. Has a few resources and low population, but is strategically important since the fall of a nearby Kamaris. Kamaris isn't listed on here, so I have no idea what that is. I don't know much in terms of the lore of, like, Warhammer stuff. But, yeah. Roxyria, or Rosyria. A small agri-world that produces intensively farmed and mass-harvested grain crops. Roxyrians are the butt of many jokes, considered backwards by other Mobians, and yet they are hardworking and honest to a fault. Excuse me. Bronx Magna. Ooh, looks like Coruscant from Star Wars. A thriving industrial world, Bronx Magna is the most densely populated in the Mobian domain. Makes sense with all the cities. Steaming billions manning its continent, spanning manufactoriums night and day. Incron, oceanic world, ooh, that's pretty. The populace of Incron inhabited vast hive islands. Is the Mobian domain's main naval depot. Wonder why. Acadia, Imperium's most famous fortress world. Its fall marked the beginning of the era in Dominus, the Dark Imperium. Not much left of that world. Ornax. Small grim mining world, known for its hellish conditions, which produce a famously hardy and dour populace. Pavane. Relatively newly colonized, Pavane is already a self-sustaining world rich in resources whose population is expanding quickly. What place sounds cool? Pilgrimage, a shrine world with low population, Roxyria, Bronx Magna, Incron. I kind of like Incron. Sounds neat. Incron. Childhood. Defined by childhood. Or so they say. Like so many others in the grim darkness of the 41st millennium, you've had a tough upbringing, but unlike many, you got through it with the scars to prove it. The Navis Imperius Constrict. They don't change. Okay. Produces fleet support for the vast armies of the Imperium, while its pilots, captains, and admirals often garner fame and glory as heroes of far-flung wars. Backbone of the Navis Imperialis is its veritable legion of underrated workers who man space docks, galleys, and holds across the galaxy. A tide forager. Despite the abundance of fish, it is dangerous to ply the waters, for amidst the floating refuse dwell plenty of highly aggressive predators, always willing to take the bite of any unwary fisherman. Sounds like the world that I live on. A militia lackey rarely achieve any rank. Oof. If they're lucky, they might learn some survival skills while serving as trench runners or ammo monkeys. That sounds terrible. Sludger. Most of the Hive World's potable water is imported from agri-worlds, but some have been by huge purifier stations, which collect water from underground streams, polluted rivers, or atmospheric condensers. Given the enormously high levels of radiation and industrial pollution, topside, purifiers run non-stop to ensure the water supply falls within acceptable toxicity parameters. Oof. The sump leech is a predatory worm that thrives in polluted, brackish water. It has pharmaceutical value, although the poorest communities also harvest them for food. Also, oof. All of these sound like terrible childhoods. The Tide Forger makes sense. Let's go Tide Forger. Growing up, there aren't a lot of options for folk like you growing up. We had to find a way to overcome the trials of youth, by fair means or foul. Escaped the wastes. The needs of the Imperium exact a heavy toll, with mass industry creating wastelands, vast dead zones that are often home to outcast mutants, but also attract settlers who dream of freedom beyond the hive's imposing walls. Isolated, the arbitrary and bureaucratic decrees of the Adeptus Administratum can draft or displace the populace of an entire hab block, often for no discernible reason. Self-reliance. Domain subject. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay. Forged by toil. Okay. Grinding toil. That's the difference. Strong laborers, mines, farms, manufactoriums, loading docks throughout the galaxy. Backbreaking toil. Manufacturers only care about output. If workers die due to overwork or lack of safety conditions, then so be it. Oof. Don't like that. Okay. Imperial citizens are taught to hate and fear mutants and witches, and in such an atmosphere, anyone who show even a minor, inexplicable malady are avoided like a plague, or even ostracized by their communities. Visions. It's possible to make a living telling fortunes in the seedy underbelly of the Mobian society. But as such is the mistrust of witches that is only a matter of time before the unsanctioned use of psychic powers is reported. So I guess being a psyker is not good? Kinda like visions. Yeah, like visions. Defining moment. Been through a lot. The struggle you can call life demanded it. But through all the hardships and all the triumphs, one incident stands out in your memory which has shaped you more or anything. A spell of madness. Unsanctioned psychers are considered to be the most serious threat to the Imperium, and they are ruthlessly hunted. Some go on to be pressed into service by the Scholastia Sacana, but for most, a darker fate awaits. Declared a witch, unsanctioned psychers are rounded up and handed over to the Adeptus Astra Telepathica, where their fate is decided. Most are either sanctioned for training by the Scholastica Sicana, or sent to the black ships to feed the Astronomicon. Interesting. The black ships, often called witches that are not slain outright, are either sent to the Imperial table via the black ships, or taught to control their powers under grueling regime of the Scholastia Sicana. This sounds a lot like Dragon Age. Mutant incident. Whether warped by genetic defect or chaos taint, mutants are reveled by the Imperium. Most Imperial agencies teach intolerance of a mutant as a key tenet, and see mutation as a curse that leads only to corruption. Psychic awakening. Called witches, mutants use their mind to draw power to perform supernatural feats. Many are blissfully unaware of the power within until they experience a psychic awakening, after which they're often shunned from society or even hunted by the Scholastia Sicana. Captured. Captured by the Scholastic Sicana, I guess. Understand that there are many fates worse than death. For some, there's no nightmare like being captured by cultists, rival gangers, or even foul xenos. Whether taken for study, hard labor, or interrogation, the results are always grim. The voices. In most occupations, hearing voices would be considered a sign of madness. However, to some members of the Excelliarchy and the Scholastia Sicana, such messages are a source of inspiration, or they are perhaps a sign of blessed communion with the God Emperor. So Some of these sound rather interesting. Don't really want anything to do with the Scholastica Secana, though. So let's go with the voices. That seems cool. Alrighty. Now we're finally making a character. Body type. Yeah, we'll go with the dude. Face. It's rather rugged. Make him... pinkish pale looks good. Decisions. Ugh. No. Kinda like that one. Kinda like that one too. I like that one. Oops, just on face. Eye color. Oh, available, I see. Ooh, interesting. Kinda grayish. That looks like more hazelnutty. I'll go with... Is there like a dull option? No. We'll go with that. That seems good. Hairstyles. We are... I would say that. Many choices in hairstyles. Why are they different colored from here to there? Weird. Can make He-Man. Let's see. Bald. Different shades of bald. Don't like that one. It's pretty neat. I like that one better. Difference is sideburns. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. Facial hair. Yeah. I like these. Nah, I think we'll go with this. That looks good. Tattoos. What does that say? Purge. Purge penalty? I don't know. What does that say? Joyce in thy service. I don't know, not digging any of these. None. Body tattoos. I mean, are we really gonna see our body much? Probably gonna be wearing armor most of the time, I would assume. Yeah, none. Scars. Kind of wanna be clean. Yeah. Clean seems good. Clean. Height. I'm a bit shorter. We'll go there. Nice. Is that good? Yeah. Continue. Ooh, voices. Your life choices have molded you into the person you are today. There's been happiness in your life, sure, but you're left with plenty of scars, and not just the physical kind. This is what you have become. Selection effect. Your avatar's personality affects how your character responds to other characters and events. Neat.
I've dreamed many dreams before, but never like this. They're normally nicer, with delicious food and flowers and comforting colors. Oh, and songs to warm the heart and lighten the soul. I like songs, but there isn't any music in this dream. Everything's loud and angry and has sharp teeth. My beloved insisted I am not to worry, that the dream and everything within it will unfold precisely as it should. I'm sure it will.
Neat. I like that one.
I should have known the enforcers would not tolerate me forever. My skills they valued, but my nature, that they despised. I was a convenience, one who could glean truths they could not, who could follow a trail of evidence like a shining path when all others remained blind to its existence, and all of it asking nothing in return. That I brought closure to the grieving, and the guilty to the penitent's pyre was my reward.
Not bad either. I like that one too.
It seems that no matter how low I set my expectations, it can always get worse. A lifetime spent in the mire, hiding from the witch-seekers and the bigots in the most desolate places the Imperium of Man has to offer. Forced to sell my incomparable skills to smugglers, hive-gangers, bounty hunters, and all their blockheaded ilk merely to survive. Alas, such has always been the way for my kind. If we are not slain out of hand, dissected, drafted, or dragged aboard unmarked vessels never to be seen again.
I think I like that one more so than all three, just because it gives me like Richtofen vibes from Call of Duty. But I think I'm gonna go with the
I've
Seer.
dreamed many dreams.
I like the voice for the Seer. Seems to fit my character the best, so let's go with that. Ooh, clothes. This is where your life journey has led. You're a prisoner of the Imperium. Convicted of a crime you may or may not have committed, but guilt is irrelevant at this point. Innocence proves nothing. Wow. Love to be with the Imperium. Misplaced faith. So powerful are the upper figures of the Adeptus Ministorum that to draw their ire by questioning their faith or worldly habits is to invite death sentence. Green prison garb. Insubordination. Disobedient, real, or implied to the Imperial authority is enough to earn demotion, prison, or death. Sounds about right. Sedition. Overtly seditious conduct, ranging from disrespectful speech to mass organization with intent to protest. Is all considered part of tendency toward rebellion against the established order, and that is something the Imperium will not tolerate. Also sounds about right. Dereliction of duty. The punishment for dereliction of duty is often death, but in some cases the sentence is waived in exchange for service in a penal battalion, or worse. Not sure what's worse than that. But we'll go with insubordination, because it sounds like something I'd do. And it's red, so we'll go with that. Your name. Lurkon. Born in Inkron. Like many in the region, you spent your early years braving the toxic harbor waters to harvest sump barnacles and razor crabs. About the time you're coming of age, you began to see murky visions of the future. You used this talent to eke out a living telling fortunes in the dark alleys of the Hablocks. One day, the voice of the Emperor spoke in your mind and told you to dedicate your life to his service. That doesn't sound right. It wasn't that you didn't get out of the way for the passing magistrate, it was that you didn't get out of the way quickly enough. Also sounds good. That alone was enough to earn a one-way trip to the prison ship, the Tankard Bastion. You're aboard the Tankard Bastion, en route to Atama Prime. Don't know what Atama Prime is, probably said it a little while ago, but I wasn't paying attention. Anyways, seems good. Confirm and play the prologue. Heck yeah. Burn the heretic, kill the mutant, purge the unclean. Peace. Let not the traitors live. Blessed are those whose aim is true. Purge the Imperium.